Good afternoon, guys. Good morning to those on the other side of the world. Oh, Len Cortez, how are you? Nice to see you here. It could help you in your struggles. Like, yeah, just go with the flow, go with the meditation, because this one is like a meditative Hula day. We will be doing some chanting, but I'll explain it to you what it is. But first, before we do the chant, we'll do our prayer, and the rest knows about this. The title of the song is Oi Iyo. So Oi Iyo is actually a prayer, and at the same time, it's also a hula. I'll let you hear to the song Oi Iyo. My orientation several days ago teach something about this Oi Iyo. When I gave my orientation to Haumana Hulilani. So Haumana Hulilani, if you are around, you just join us, okay? I'll let you listen to the song Oi Iyo. So what we are going to do now here is to introduce all the songs of the Halau. So our purpose here is to facilitate you in your journey, facilitate you in your discovery, in your self-discovery through this hula as you encountered me. Now the first thing is, all haumana we're required to learn this song, Oi Iyo. Oi Iyo means, you are my God. Oi Iyo. I'll give you the meaning first. Oi Iyo, you are my God. Emakualani means my heavenly Father. Oi Iyo, you are my God. Kawai Ola means the source of the water of life. Oi Iyo, you are my God. Kumu Ola, Kumo is the source of life. Ola is life. Hameya Iya, that means who created all things. Kumu is my Lord. Mauna Kie is higher than the highest mountain. Okay, let's do it again. Oi Iyo, you are my God. Emakualani, my heavenly Father. You are my God. Kawai Ola, my Mother of life. You are my God, the source of life. Who created all things. on the hand movements so that you will feel. So the session, the Hoike today is not exclusively, primarily for the use of my haumana. And then because later on fall is coming, so we might not be able to be doing our Hoike here at the Riverlanding. It's getting colder now. So but we will move our Hoike indoor. Now here we are focusing more on the meles that is being done by my haumana in their lessons. Okay. So each of my haumana has their own individualized lessons with me, but they are following a curriculum or a lesson plan where everybody are required to take all these stories and songs and dance, and they need to be completing this. Okay, and so anyone who is joining the halau are required to be doing this. Okay, the focus of the halau is not so much on learning the technique, but the focus here is to be able to contemplate, because we are contemplative. We are not so much into making each haumana a real a perfect performer. No, each haumana is only expected that they will be able to internalize the song and contribute to their own development, spiritual development and personality development, to be able to discover themselves and be able to also contribute something to the halau. The mission of the halau is to spread the aloha. And then so hopefully that by imparting into the lessons they'll be able to learn this meaning of aloha. And so the first is the love of God through this song, Oi Iyo. So when they learn this, I would like to emphasize that the core of the halau is the spirituality. Not so much to make you a really good performer, but if you become a really good performer, then that means God blessed you with that gift, so be it. But if, for example, you are given faith because of your participation in this, faith in itself is gift. Okay? So now for my haumana, if you are here, all of you except for haumana Mania, you were not able yet to do this Oi Iyos. It's very simple. So almost all my haumana was able to take this lesson, Oi Iyo. So now we will be doing Oi Iyo together. Okay? So even non-haumana, our followers, I am allowing you to participate. There is a saying there is a teaching in Hula that you cannot just dance a hula, you know? Because if you make a mistake, the gods and goddesses might punish you. Okay? So, but there is a particular goddess who will not punish, who will protect you, the goddess Laka, the goddess of all students, of all haumana. And so in the halau, when the kumo allows you to dance this, so you are under the protection of the goddess Laka. And so feel free to join us, because I am allowing even followers to practice this. Okay, you might be wondering, I am teaching something, you are my God, and yet why am I talking something about plurality of gods, like the gods and goddesses? Okay, I look at the gods and the goddesses as ancestors of Hawaiians, and so when we refer to them, we are honoring them. Okay, it's not the same concept of worship among Christians. Okay, so the worship of one God is different from the veneration, from the honor we afforded to our ancestors. Okay, so I will talk to you something about that later on the second mele. But first here, Oi Iyo, I'd like all my haumana and followers to join me. So I hope this gives you consolation. And now we go to the next spelling. Ayala upele I Hawaii ea. Hea amai lani maukele ea. Ayala upele I Hawaii. This is a chant, a song, which I am now requiring my students to learn how to do this chant in order to honor Pele. Okay, who is Pele? Pele is the famous goddess of the volcano, the goddess of fire. But actually, she is more than a goddess to Hawaiians. She is the mother of all Hawaiians. All native Hawaiians comes from Pele because there was a time that Pele was not a goddess. Pele was an ordinary human being who came from Tahiti and settled in Hawaii. And then, together with his family, they relocated to the big island Hawaii. And from there on, Pele became a goddess. So the process of being a goddess, well, that's how Westerners look at it, okay? So simply because we worship, they say we worship our ancestors, so that is idolatry. The worship of one God is not the same as the worship of an ancestor. Actually, for me, being a Christian, I do not worship my ancestor. I honor my ancestor. I remember my ancestor. Remember the time when I did a hula for my auntie Ason? That was to honor her. That is to remember her, to perpetuate her memories. And the same thing also with Pele. The memory of a great mother is to bind all their children together so that they may come together and celebrate and become an effective one people, okay? And so many of us are mixed, not truly Hawaiians, you know. Many Hawaiians will disagree with me because even if you are mixed, you are considered Hawaiian, okay? So what I am saying is that you do not have to be a full-blooded native to be a Hawaiian. As long as there in your veins is the blood of Pele, you are a Hawaiian. And not only that, having the blood is one thing, but another is being part of when you are considered a hanai. A hanai means when you have been adopted to that family, and so you become also Hawaiian. Like for example, in my halau, so I adopted all my haumana, and they are give. That's the reason why I give them a Hawaiian name. And so you are not only from your different various nationalities, but by being part of the halau, you are now Hawaiian. And if you are a Hawaiian, it is but proper that you get to know your culture, you get to know your origin, you get to know the mother of your people. And so that's how we get to know Pele. And so now, the start of our lessons for my haumana is getting to know Pele, the mother of all Hawaiians. And the first step to do that is to try to learn at least the language. So the language, this Hawaiian language, it says, this chant, Aiya la Pele I Hawaii, which means Aiya, there is Pele. So Aiya la Pele, there is Pele. I Hawaii, I Hawaii means there is Pele in Hawaii. And then it says, Keha'a mai. There she is dancing. I Maukele. Dancing at Maukele. Now what is Maukele? Because this song is a very old song. This comes from many generations ago. So many years. So maybe 1,000 years, 100 years. Maukele is a beautiful place like a paradise. Where in Puna is a district in Big Island, Hawaii. Okay, and near Puna is the volcano Kilauea. And this song is saying, there is Pele in Hawaii dancing at Mount Kele. Okay? Now, we started to be doing this because my haumana would like to learn something about kahiko. There are two types of dances, kahiko and awana. This one is kahiko. Because in kahiko, you do not dance kahiko to perform, especially in my halau, no. In my halau, kahiko is a sacred dance. It is used as a ritual to give honor to the gods and the goddesses, to honor God and to honor our ancestors. Two patterns. First is the pattern kalakawa. So kalakawa is a rocking motion twice from one side to another side. So it's like this. You move your foot like this and then repeat it again. And another motion is called the kao. You just move your hips up and down, up and down. So I wanted my haumana to be doing this chanting, so we'll do it like this. Aiya, there is Aiya, Laopele, Pele is there. In Hawaii, there she is. In Maukele. So you only do it like this. Aiya laopele I Hawaii eya. Keha'a means ha'a dancing there in Maukele. Eya, then you do kao. Aiya laopele I Hawaii eya. Keha'a mai ila I Maukele eya. Okay? So now we are doing this not to learn the pattern. The pattern itself is only to lead you into a reflection. Okay, so I want my haumana to make sure that you do not try just to learn the pattern. That when you do this, you go into a deeper reflection, reflecting where Pele is. Pele is there in Hawaii. And where is Hawaii? Not only there, but also yourself. There in Hawaii area. She is dancing there. There in Maukele. Maukele is here in your heart. So when you do this, reflect it and be part of it, not concentrating on the correctness of the movement, but on getting yourself into contemplation into the song. Okay, let's do this.
Hawaii,
For those who cannot dance, just sing your So how is it, guys? So this is meditative. This is not the usual dance performed during rituals, because what we are doing is to facilitate you into a meditation into this, and this is meant for all the haumanas to be doing together. So on the second session next week, together with this, our focus now on the Hoike is to bring all the haumanas together in order to incorporate all the lessons that you have taken. So in this halau, each haumana has their own lessons. The next basic hula of the halau is the song Kawai Lehua. So I'll make you listen to the song. And then the rain falls from the heavens to the earth. The rain falls, the water falls from the heaven to the earth. And when the water falls, it creates life. And this water creates life, the lehua. The first thing that comes after a volcano erupted is the tree ohia. And ohia bears a flower called lehua. And we are like the lehua, taken down from that flower, having a journey through the streets of life as we go out and reach out to the wider ocean. Whatever comes from the earth is raised up to the heavens, and it comes back to us. This rain, a gift of love. And so, whatever is here on earth, take care of it, because it's coming back to us again. Raised up to the heavens, and it brings back to us to give us life. And so this song tells something about the story of this. The water of life that brings us life. And the halau is like this Kawai Lehua. So the story of Kawai Lehua is also the story of the halau. It tells that our origin is coming from God. That's why we are contemplative.